0, 1. Let's get started.
Why they stopping me?
Bye, Crypto Bro.
What's going on, crypto world? It's that guy again, Ball Deep Crypto, coming at you with another crypto piece. We're going to talk about Afreum. We're going to talk about what they're doing, Africa, stellar anchors, above, beyond, everything else. And they're pretty quiet, not a lot of information, so I kind of wanted to dive in a little bit like I usually do, a little deep dive on it, see what we could find. Let's get into it. Obviously, as you see this post here from Afreum, as part of the integration with Stellar Anchors and Afreum ramps, we will see the Afreum ecosystem expand beyond Circle USDC to support a broader range of Anchor stablecoins. The ecosystem is expanding, opening up new corridors on Stellar. Here's another post, obviously, talking about Stellar. Shout out to them. Tokens are burned simply by sending them to the issuer address. Simple, elegant. On Afreum, tokens burns happen daily via fiat token redemptions. Afreum Save, Afreum Stake, rewards, fees, etc. Want to speed up the AFR burn rate? Burn, baby, burn. We do love deflationary assets here. There's only 8 billion of these tokens. Now, some other big news that Afreum had coming on, down on September 15th here. This time's for real. AFR is now available on the Tangem wallet on the Stellar blockchain. You can now custody your assets in one of the simplest hard wallets out there. No screen, no batteries, no hassle. This is a big deal. This is good adoptions. Obviously, you can see down here, DC Best says it a big milestone. Congratulations, etc., etc. So makes it easier to absorb on automation, flows on Stellar, unlock even more power. So here we are. And as we can see here with the Lobster Stellar update, Afreum reposted this saying last week's top tokens swapped on Lobster were obviously XLM, Agua. Shout out to Agua. See, hey, people, we've been talking about that too. Get on it. SHX, you already know we love that. Velo, by the way, people, I'm going to be coming out with the Velo video here. Sorry, I've been all over the place, but Velo is coming. I promise you that. And AFR Afreum. So beautiful things. Also be coming out with an XDC video for anybody that likes the fintech, the XFin. So got a couple videos coming out just talking about this and that. But like we do on this channel, let's get into a little deep dive and see potentially what AFR and Afreum's got in the works for us. Obviously, like we just talked about, what Afreum's got coming down potentially. We just talked about the Tangem wallet integration. Obviously, it allows to securely store AFR without screens, batteries, complex setups. We just talked about that. Now asked if there's any current partnerships and relationships going on. It says no formal new partnerships were announced. However, Afreum maintains strong ties to the Stellar community. It's active participation in Stellar events like the Meridian 2025 in Rio, so they were just there. I didn't see any videos on it. I'll see if I can search and find any, but I could not find any. Where team members highlighted building on Stellar's infrastructure, including praise for innovations like Meridian Pay, a smart wallet demo by Stellar Development Foundation, and Cheesecake Labs. We're going to dive into that a little bit. And if you're listening to this Afreum, I'll tag you in. I mean, share us any videos that you can with the community to this. We can get them out there so people can see your face, can see what you're doing, can hear you, and kind of just put a little bit of real life behind the tech that you're doing and the foundations that you're laying. And it says they sent out a congratulatory post to Stellar projects like XBid AI, which was the hackathon winner, Stellar Carbon, and Aquarius. Shout out to Aquarius. Singling collaborative relations rather than direct deals. We're going to dig into each one of those here a little bit and see what the potential, which each one of those are. That's what we'd like to do here, right? Potential, potential, potential. Now, we've got ongoing relations with Stellar.org, as seen in 2025, well wishes and consistent tagging. The Tangem integration indirectly strengthens wallet ecosystem relations, potentially easing onboarding for African users via Stellar's low-cost network. Now, before we get into this other stuff we're going to talk about here, this is all speculation, any and all things that we're talking about here, price-wise, adoption, potential. This is not financial advice. Your guy is not a financial advisor. He's just telling you what he likes. And, BDC's the shit. So, but do what you want to do with your money. It's yours. I am not your financial advisor. All right. Now, potential partnership, upgrades, or sandboxes in the works, right? Hey, what's going on? This is how we make money, right? Build a bridge. That way you can get across and build relationships. That's the way it works, Bridges build and connect people, connect communities. Now, Afreum's focus on token burns, redemptions, and staking rewards and queries about accelerating AFR burns suggest potential deflationary mechanism tweaks to boost tokenomics. Beautiful thing, deflationary. I always love to hear that word. Supply, demand. It's pretty simple as that. That's straight economics, man. Emphasis on Kenya's payment landscape via LinkedIn share hints at Africa-specific pilots or integrations, but no sandbox testing environment details were emerged. Obviously, we talked about the broader ecosystem momentum could lead to indirect upgrades for Afreum, like enhanced smart contracts or cross-project liquidity. Now, like we stated, some of the things that were going on, we talked about Meridian Pay. It's an open source smart contract developed in partnership with the Stellar Development Foundation and Cheesecake Labs. Shout out to Cheesecake. Love what they're doing. Big fans of that. Who doesn't like some cheesecake? Let's be real. Let's be real, people. Now, obviously, that was unveiled at Meridian 2025. It leverages Stellar's Sorabon. Love us some Sorabon. Smart contracts. You guys, people, do you see this, Sorabon? Do you see what they're trying to do? You see this, right? Tell me you're here seeing what I'm seeing. Obviously, smart contracts to enable seamless, programmable payments with crypto like USDC, going beyond basic transfers to include automated flows, escrow, conditional payments, and AI agent integrations. We just talked about the AI integrations for dynamic transactions. Okay. Users interact via a simple interface for sending or receiving funds with built-in support for multi-signature approvals and cross-chain messaging. Shout out to who? Layer 0 again, coming in. What, with 82%? 82% people, remember that Layer 0? Whoo! Good Lord. Layer 0, they're doing big things. It's a production ready, allowing developers to fork and custom it to specific apps. It was demoed for event-based payments at the conference. Now, the benefits to AFR, obviously, because that's what we're talking about. We want to know what it is, to its functionality. It focuses on tokenized economics for African financial inclusion, staking AFR rewards, redeeming for fiat-pegged country tokens like the Kenyan shilling equivalents. Meridian Pay simplifies onboarding and usability. It enables non-custodial, low-friction wallets tailored for emerging markets, reducing barriers like complex seed phases or high fees, where smart features automate AFR staking redemptions or cross-border remittances, which Stellar obviously is trying to capitalize and control that market. Now, this aligns with AFR's goal of accessible DeFi, potentially integrating with Tangem hardware for secure offline storage, and supports Stellar's low-cost network to scale in underbanked regions. And Africa is a very underbanked region. I think 400 to 600 million people are unbanked or not banked, with a high volume of the people in the country who have access to a cell phone, which obviously crypto can be done through the cell phone. Now, potential monetary impact, because if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense, people. And your boy Ball Deep's about that dollar bills, y'all. Now, monetarily, it could drive AFR adoption by boosting transaction volume through easier payments, leading to higher staking rewards. AFR burns via redemptions create deflationary pressure. You know what I mean? Under pressure. Looking down on me, looking down on you. Sorry, I'm old. All right, and ecosystem TVL. Now, if integrated, it might generate indirect revenue via protocol fees on automated flows or partnerships, AI agents for yield optimization, potentially increasing AFR market cap by 20 to 50% through enhanced liquidity and user growth in Africa's 100 billion plus remittance market. Woo, I'd love to see that. Cheesecake Labs testing of AI-powered payments hints at future premium features like revenue sharing models for wallet providers. AI, it's coming. Keep telling you, people, it's coming for everything. Now, another thing that we talked about, obviously, was part of the The grant program is xbid.ai. Well, falls right into what we're talking about, AI. It's an AI-driven DeFi platform that won first place at the Stellar Hacks. Sponsored by DoorHacks and the SDF. It uses Sora Bond, love Sora Bond, smart contracts on Stellar to facilitate intelligent bidding and auctions for tokenized assets, leveraging AI for predictive pricing, automated bids, and Oracle integrations. Users can create, participate in sealed bid auctions or dynamic markets for RWAs, NFTs, or DeFi positions with low gas settlement, ensuring efficiency. The platform emphasizes composability, allowing integration with other Stellar tools like AMMs for instant liquidity post-auction. There we go. Lots and lots of Sorbonne, AMMs, RWAs, NFTs, DeFi. I mean, they just get my blood going in the right places, if you know what I mean, people. It's that good feeling. Now, benefits to AFR and its functionality. AFR's tokenized African country assets, the market-driven tokens for local economies, could use xbid.ai for transparent auctions of stakes or redemptions, enhancing governance and accessibility. Now, the AI layer predicts optimal bids based on market data, helping underbanked users in Africa participate without expertise, while interoperability boosts AFR's integration with broader Stellar DeFi yield farming. Now, this supports AFR's inclusion mission by enabling fractional ownership of economic tokens, reducing entry barriers in volatile emerging markets. Potential money here, people. Dollar bills, y'all. It said it could capture value from AFR's growing ecosystem with AI-driven efficiency, attracting 10 million plus in auction volume annually. As a hackathon winner, it qualifies for SDF grants, potentially funding AFR-specific pools that increase token utility and burn rates. Burn, baby, burn. Long-term, it could yield 15 to 30% ROI for AFR holders via higher trading premiums, tapping into Stellar's 1 billion plus DeFi TVL and Africa's tokenized asset boom. Now, what is Stellar Carbon? We're going to talk about that right here. It's a blockchain-based carbon offset platform. Obviously, it was a finalist, which we just talked about. It tokenizes verified carbon units, where each carbon token represents 1 metric ton of sequestered CO2 from rainforest conservation projects. There we go. Now, transactions sync carbon via traceable Stellar payments to verified partners using smart contracts for minting, retiring, and auditing credits. Interoperability features allow seamless bridging to other chains via Layer 0. Shout out to them. They're here again with transparent dashboards for, they want to be able to, utilize any and all. They want everything to be smooth here soon. They want everything to work together via transparent dashboards for impact tracking, ensuring every contribution fuels real-world offsets like reforestation. So you use it, and then they plant some more trees, you know what I mean? For all you tree huggers, go plant a tree, you know what I mean? This is how you can do it digitally. So don't just talk about it, be about it, people. Obviously, it focuses on sustainable financial inclusion in Africa. It adds traceability and social impact, appealing to Africa's projects and biodiversity hotspots, while Stellar's speed and low cost make micro offsets viable for smallholders, enhancing AFR's governance for client-resilient tokens. If you're into that, this is for you. Now, obviously, it opens revenue streams via tokenized credit trading. AFR potentially earning from bundled products in the $100 billion global carbon market. Let's see, funding. Projections show 20 to 40% value accrual for AFR via premium pricing on sustainable assets, especially as regulations favor tokenized assets. The EU's green finance push. So this is a way for them to get some of that green, funding, I guess. You know what I mean? I'm not the biggest fan of it, but to each their own. If you believe in it, I believe it's a hoax. But what do I know? We're talking crypto. Let's keep it there. All right, now we're going to go to Aquarius, obviously. We love agua. I love agua. Speaking of, I just iced up some of my agua. I'm going to maybe potentially put out a video to show you how to do that. If you're not doing that, people, not financial advice, you should look into it. It's highly lucrative, I think, and the potential is there. Now, Aquarius is a liquidity management protocol on Stellar. We've talked about this, achieving 30 million TVL as of September 2025. It incentivizes market making on Stellar's native DEX and AMMs via the Agua governance token, where holders vote to allocate rewards to specific pairs, boosting liquidity for under-traded assets. Built on Sorabon, which we love. Well, I do. Me, we, the royal we. It automates emissions for LPs, supports yield bearing to Ethereum, trash, and uses signers guilds for decentralized validation. Users pass passive rewards by providing liquidity with tools like the yield bridge for cross-chain optimization. Of course, I'm not the biggest fan of Ethereum or Solana, but I know that they're going to be there in players, and they're obviously larger than where Stellar is now, but I believe Stellar has potential to be big as well. Just not for me. It's not my cup of tea. You know what I mean? Everybody likes, some people like mint tea. I don't. I like kombucha. So here we are. That's bada bing, bada bang. So obviously the benefits for AFR, it directly enhances trading of the tokens, AFR, AFRX, by incentivizing deep liquidity pools, reducing slippage for African users during staking or fiat redemptions. It improves accessibility and composability with Stellar tools like Meridian Pay, which we talked about. This scales AFR DeFi features like automated burns in low liquidity markets. Now, Aquarius monetizes via Agua emissions and governments, potentially adding 5 million to AFR's liquidity within a year, increasing trading volume by 30 to 50% and token burns for deflation. With 30 million TVL signaling maturity, integrations could yield protocol revenue shares, projecting 1 to 2 million annual value for AFR holders through higher pricing and yield farming, leveraging Stellar's 1 billion plus DeFi growth. It's going to go more on that, people. Now, we're going to end it here talking about, obviously, the potential. We know about the minerals. We know about how Africa has basically got everything as far as tokenized assets, real-world assets, many of the unbanked, and for what Stellar's trying to do. Stellar's trying to bank the unbanked. They're trying to get to hard-to-reach regions. They're trying to capitalize on the high remittance fees. Where they see areas that could see improvement, they tackle it and go after it aggressively. And most of those are underserved regions, which we've talked about to ad nauseum. But just to rehash it real quick, we just did that. Now, obviously, there's approximately 400 million adults in Africa that are unbanked in 2025. This figure primarily reflects sub-Saharan Africa, where the unbanked rate stands about 42% of adults, driven by limited access to formal financial services despite growth in mobile money. North Africa has lower unbanked rates, but the continent-wide total aligns with the 400 million estimate out of the estimated about 950 million adults across Africa of its total 1.46 billion population. Global unbanked adults total 1.3 billion, with Africa accounting for a significant portion due to the high regional rate. Approximately 75 million Africans are projected to use cryptocurrency, with the vast majority accessing it via mobile phone, which we talked about earlier, the dominant channel for digital transactions in the region. This represents a user penetration rate of about 5.5% of the continent's population, fueled by high mobile penetration, over 527 million subscribers, and integration with mobile money platforms like M-Pesa. Sub-Saharan Africa leads adoption with 205 billion in crypto transaction volume from July to June 2024 to 2025, and countries like Nigeria with 22 million users topping the chart. Growth is rapid at 19.4 year-over-year % increase, often for remittances and inflation hedging. Beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. Love what Stellar's doing here. Love what AFR's doing, Afreum's doing in Africa. Again, shout out to them. If they're watching this, if they're tagged in and they watch it, maybe drop us and show us what you're talking about at Meridian 2025. Maybe give us a little bit of insight, throw us a bone and see what you're doing out here. You know what I mean? The people want to know. We, me, the royal we, the 100 or so people that are following me, and the probably 10 people that will watch this video. Shout out to any and all of you that take any time to do that. It's not a call out on anybody, just being real about it. Most people aren't watching these, but still putting them out there for the few. If it's only one person, then hopefully you get something out of this that you can use. Hopefully it's knowledge you can use. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm gonna end this video right here. Like I said, I'm gonna work on a couple other videos here in the next couple days and see if I can get them out for you. But that's it for this. chase a check, never chase a bit.
Bye, Crypto Bro.